And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, James Out West, Wednesday, April 21st, 2021.
What
up, cuz?
Non-exciting week, unless you were a soccer fan, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got the build-up for the draft, but this whole soccer thing was crazy,
Which I'm excited for what's coming, like you said, the draft next week. Going to have a good time with that. Man. We are in the lull of sports.
7 days away.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
And that's our theme of this night, is that we're going to be focusing on the draft.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, let's go around the league before we dive into the draft.
Yes, I agree.
A couple of big things in the NFL. From a TV media standpoint, Hulu Live made an agreement with the NFL. They got the NFL Red Zone.
Nice.
And NFL Network coming August 1st, which is big for Hulu users. I'm a Hulu user. Haven't had NFL Network for a year. Haven't had Kay Adams and Peter Schrager and Nate Burleson and Kyle Brandt on every morning like we used to. My kids ask me about it, like, where's Good Morning Football? My kids are not football fans. Where's Good Morning Football? So
I love it. I record it every morning, and then I'll watch it just randomly.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. I love it.
So there's that.
I love it.
NFL schedule drops May 12th.
Yep.
Found out that today.
Yep. We know who they're playing, but we just don't know when.
And we will then.
Yep.
Now, they kind of slid this in there, too. They today is typically when they start the random drug test for street drugs in the NFL, and they let them know today that they will still be testing for everything but THC.
Yep.
No longer going to be testing for it. You can no longer be suspended for it. So the NFL's starting to come around to, hey, these guys that are hurting themselves and getting beat up and ending up with brain trauma, instead of popping them with a bunch of pills and getting them hooked on a bunch of stuff, get them something that's in nature. Granted, it's controversial still with a lot of people, but if you know, you know.
Instead of taking opioids, I 100% agree with this. I don't think everybody needs to do it. You don't need to go deep into it.
No, it's different too.
But when you are rehabbing, 100%.
Notice how all of the players, when they retire, get into the CBD game. Oh, there's a reason for it, folks. Right. There's a reason for it.
So this is kind of going to be a little bit of a theme, because we had 420 this week. So you'll see that there's going to be a couple of different things we're going to pop up. But this is, I think, a huge thing, and I think it's good for the players.
Sure. Yeah, 100. I agree.
I don't want these guys who are getting shot, and
Toradol, Tramadol, all kinds of stuff.
And then taking these pills.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
cortisone,
bad on your liver, but all around, 100%. I love it for sure. I have to give a shout out to Alex Smith.
Oh yeah,
longtime Niner.
Yep.
Then went to Kansas City. He lost it from Kaepernick, his starting job. Then went to Kansas City, lost it. Then he went to Washington. He destroyed his leg.
Most gruesome thing I've ever seen on a football field.
I am so glad that he's doing the right thing, because he's a family man. He came back, proved that he could still do it, and now he's walking away. And 100%, Alex Smith, you did it the right way. Great NFL career.
Oh, and he'll probably be on TV.
Years. He's a good-looking guy. He's got the
he's
blue
young.
eyes.
Doesn't have to coach. Doesn't need the money. Still should be, probably still wants to be around the game. Who knows?
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I mean, respect. Jordan Reed's out, retired.
I mean, he should have retired a while ago, but now, like you said, you don't have to see him on your tight end report every week.
He was another Niner, but at the same point, I don't have to see you on my fantasy team. It's been so frustrating, but I know you had a good career, so respect there too. It's going to be interesting. So, did you hear about this with Justin Fields, that now he has?
Not now.
It's now being released that everybody knows he has epilepsy.
Sure, but they said that he's been managing it for years, which tells you, and it's something that is family related, because I guess it's something that other members of his family have gone through, and they've grown out of it into their 20s.
Okay.
So it wasn't something that was ever kept from anybody. It's HIPAA. This is stuff they don't have to release. They agree to this. So this is stuff that teams have already known about. They've known about this for more than a year. This isn't something that's random. This is just, now it came out because the media got a hold of the medical reports coming out of Indy.
I obviously this can't be new, right?
So
do you think that this is another smoke field? Like
smoke screen? 100%. I don't know who released it. I don't know who released it. Because it didn't say. It just said per sources, I think it might have been Adam
Who's hating
Schefter.
on him so much right now?
The team that wants him the most.
You think it's us?
No. You guys don't have to hate on him to get him at 3, 4.
Yes, 3.
You don't have to hate on him to get him at 3.
Okay.
That's not what that is.
So you don't think there's going to be a crazy...
The Jets are not trading number 2, and they're not going to draft him.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that the Jets don't go with Zach Wilson, and they are doing this, and they want Justin Fields.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, and I don't necessarily think that it's you guys either.
I don't think
you don't need to throw the smoke screen.
I don't think so either.
Logic tells me it's somebody in the back or the middle of the draft.
I agree.
That's looking to move up.
Okay.
Or it could be Atlanta because they really are saying, we're going to trade the pick. We don't want blah, 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 blah. And they end up taking him at 4.
So, okay, let's get into a couple things. I don't want to do the normal kind of draft boring, like let's go through all of our picks.
Right.
But I would like to go through the top 5 picks, okay?
Okay.
So we know Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sunshine is going number 1.
Sunshine for all those.
Remember the Titans.
Yes, for sure. He nails that so much. Okay, so Jets, I assume Zach Wilson.
That's what we're being told. So until otherwise, yeah.
You don't think it?
No, I do. Okay. The Jets have not made a good decision in 32 years. I don't see them changing that Thursday.
Nope.
Sorry, Keith.
J-E-T-S. Wrong.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
Sorry to my buddy
100.
Keith, who's a diehard Jets fan.
Care. Yes, and you're gonna get the, what do they call him? The cold day.
They haven't had a quarterback since Joe Namath.
No, and good luck to you. Anyways, let's get on to my Niners. We're gonna take Mac Jones, and I don't.
Yep, I agree.
I'm not sold on it yet.
Or Trey Lance.
I like Trey Lance.
You've said that before.
But I think we're going to take Mac Jones. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So we're going to go, for sure, the first 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to agree with that.
Yeah.
Where's Atlanta going? Are they going Kyle Pitts? And then loading up that?
So here's what I think. I think Atlanta needs to realize that they need a quarterback. Matt Ryan is going to be, they have to keep him because of his money.
2 years maybe
You
away.
need to draft a quarterback. You hopefully you're never going to be in the top 5 again or for a long time. You should probably take a quarterback.
Not yet. Well,
why don't y'all take Mac Jones and sit Mac behind a guy that he's kind of similar to?
Ridley, Julio Jones, and Kyle Pitts on, are you kidding me? With Matt Ryan? And he has 2 years left?
Does Matt Ryan have 2 years left? His contract might say he does, but does he?
I think so. I would say at least
if they could have, let me put this, if Atlanta could have moved him, they would have. They can't move his $100 million guarantee. So that tells you where they're at. They would have moved on if they could. They're financially hamstrung to have to keep him.
So do you think, so you're saying.
I say they should draft a quarterback.
They should, but they won't.
They should. I think they do.
You think? So
I think they do.
Let's say Trey Lance.
No, I think you guys are taking Trey Lance.
Oh.
I think at number 4, Atlanta's taking
the next
Mac Jones.
The next Matt Ryan.
Exactly. And that will leave the 5th picking out Justin Fields for somebody to come up and come get Justin Fields in the top 10 still.
Okay.
Who's the 5th pick?
So we got Cincy. So what weapon are you going to give to keep Burrow from not having a scar halfway down his leg?
Oh, yeah, you saw that picture.
Are you going to go?
You need to go offensive line. They need to go O-line.
Or are you going to go back and
No, they need to go O-line.
Chase?
No, they need to go O-line. 100%. And the reason they need to go offensive line is because, come on.
Yes.
Their dudes are going to be in a bad spot all the time if they don't go get somebody. He's got guys, he's running for his life. He's already got, you, like you said, you saw the scar.
But he wants a receiver. That offensive linemen don't sell jerseys. Jamar Chase will
Yeah, and guess what? In your franchise quarterback.
You're already on the build-up. They got the new jerseys now that are all clean, and they actually are kind of dope. I actually like them. But I say they make a pop. They're not going to do the smart move of going for offensive line. They're going to get Jamar Chase.
Okay. I could see that. I think it's, again, sure, go ahead, Bengals. Feel free. You're worrying about selling seats and selling jerseys. The quarterback, who's the number one guy, won't be around long enough to sell jerseys if you don't go protect him.
Then go spend money a little bit.
I'm okay with whatever they do because it's going to be the wrong choice in our division.
Okay. All right. So let's get into it. I have a couple of different questions surrounding. So we had 420 this week.
Mm-hmm.
What are your 4 guaranteed picks in the top 20?
Guaranteed picks in the top 20? Well, we just named all 4 in the front.
So so Trevor Lawrence. So let's take Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson.
All right, so here, top 10, Trevor Lawrence is going, Zach Wilson's going, Mac Jones is going, Trey Lance is going.
You think Mac Jones is for sure going in the top 10?
Yep. And
top 20.
And Justin Fields, we're going to have 5 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Who do you think the 6?
Somebody will trade up and move up and grab him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Patriots?
Yeah. So that's what everybody says. There's got to be some smoke to that. You would think it makes a lot of sense.
Do you think he goes before Justin Fields?
Who?
Mac Jones.
Yes.
Okay. You think so? Out of the 5, you think Justin Fields is going to be the last one? You think Trey Lance is going to go, and Mac Jones is going to go before Justin Fields, your Ohio State boy?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that was the right decision, but that's what I think that they'll do.
Okay. All right. So let's get into who's going to be the first running back off the board, because this is not. We've seen Saquon Barkley.
So it could be Najee Harris.
Okay.
And a lot of people got him going Pittsburgh. They are in dire need of a running back. He's a beast, burly guy.
Yep.
Hard runner.
And then you have
Travis Etienne from Clemson.
Yep.
You've got my boy Trey Sermon, the preacher from Ohio State. Don't sleep on him.
So do you think
Gainwell from, I think he played at Memphis. There's a lot of running backs.
Get it, boy. You know you're
There's a lot of running backs.
Okay, so how many? So let's say, who do you think is going to go first, and how many do you think go in the first round?
2 will go. Ooh. Najee Harris will go in the first round.
Okay.
Travis Etienne.
Travis?
Man, no, he's going to be at the very top. He'll be one of the top 3 or 4 or 5 picks of the second round.
Round to get him to
absolutely
contract.
Well, look at who's drafting number 1.
Yep.
So the first pick in the second round will also be Jacksonville. Why not give Trevor Lawrence his running back bunny and Travis Etienne? Just saying.
If he's there, I don't think he's going to. I think there's going to be 2. This is a very quarterback heavy. This is a very cornerback heavy.
Yep.
And receiver heavy.
And I think the over under on running backs in the first round was half.
Yeah.
So is it going to be 1 or so? I think Vegas seems to always know stuff.
I mean, anybody that you look at that has, it's not worth the value. What you can pay for them, what they do for you. I mean, you look at Saquon Barkley. He's been hurt for an entire year. They lost him. Took him in the first round. Right? McCaffrey, he was out for almost an entire year. Took him in the first round. Like, if you look at these, even though these guys are studs, it's not worth it. You can't do it that early. All right, top wide receiver. Who's going?
Who's going to be the top wide receiver taken? Yep. I think you already established that.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I don't see anybody else making that.
The only thing is he didn't play, but everybody is
well, you know what though?
Him.
Well, okay.
He didn't play last year. So he opted out, but he's a stud.
Devonta Smith, obviously, and his numbers came in. He's 166 pounds.
Right. You know, I mean, I get it. Yes.
Now, somebody pointed it out that, I mean, there's guys at 200 pounds that can't get off the line because they get jammed. And again, I'm talking out of my pocket here because I didn't play. But how it's been explained and makes logical sense to me is those are the guys they put in motion. Get them in the slot, get them moving so they don't get somebody to get a hand on them, the Julian Edelman type thing, you know, and get them open in space. Once he gets the ball, you know.
The game's a little bit different.
It is different now.
Do you think Chase goes before Pitts?
No.
Okay. I completely agree. I was just curious because technically you could put Pitts in the slot and you can actually even throw him out.
What's wild is, so how many wide receivers are going to go in the first round? Because there's 3, don't count Pitts because he's a tight end. Yeah. Besides him, there's 4 first-round talents.
Yeah.
Chase, Waddle, and Elijah Moore. And there's always somebody that comes up on the backside that should have been.
But not everybody's going to need it. I don't think there's more. I would say 2, maybe 3 go in the first. Probably 3. I'm pretty confident. I feel comfortable saying that.
Jamar, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. I don't think there's too many good cornerbacks. Everybody needs an edge rusher. So you're going to see people. I think we're actually going to see a lot of late round people jumping to see to grab somebody.
Yeah, we'll see.
But okay, so let's get in. Who's the top offensive line you're going to go?
Well, it's the kid from Oregon. I cannot say his first name.
Sewell?
Thank you. I couldn't say his first name, so I wasn't going to butcher
Just
it.
think
Yeah.
of pasta. Penne. Sue.
Yeah.
He's a stud. I don't know if you've seen. I'm sure you have.
He's a monster.
He just pushes. It's for sure.
He's an absolute monster. What, he played 4 years at Oregon or 3?
Yep.
He's a junior.
I think
three.
three?
He's 6'5", 331 pounds. Are you
He's a
serious?
stud. If you watch video on this, it's crazy. You also have Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. You have Christian Rashaw from Virginia Tech. We're gonna see there's some good linemen, but I think there's more of the cornerback, wide receiver, quarterback that they're not going to be as high as they normally are. Because an offensive lineman is a great value to take early payment.
Keep him for the 5th year.
5th year deal for sure.
Because there's not a lot of DNs in this draft. There's not a lot of D tackles in this draft. I mean, can you name one?
A defensive tackle?
Yeah, coming out in this draft, I couldn't name you one.
No, not off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure if
I couldn't name you a
if I
DN.
thought about it, but no,
I couldn't name you a DN in this year's draft either. And I think that's because there's a lack of them. Usually these guys are big,
Can I cheat?
I mean, even go in and look. I don't know.
Jalen Phillips from Miami.
Yeah, but
There
you
it
don't
is.
know
He's
this
going
guy.
to Miami on my draft board.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. Because I mean, there just isn't. I mean,
No, and Carlos Bashan Jr.
Yeah,
from
that's what I'm
Wake
saying.
Forest.
We don't know any of these guys. We don't know any of these guys.
The
And
next one,
usually
I
you
can't
know a
even
few.
pronounce
Usually you
his
know a
name.
few. So
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Okay, so cornerback, the next big position that we were talking about. So this secondary, who's going to try and upgrade? Who's going to be the first one to go off?
well, everybody's got Patrick Surtain going off the second,
Yep.
going as early as like 10.
I see 9 to Denver, which I see Denver. If Trey Lance is there,
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to. But
And I'm hoping at 26, J.C. Horn falls to the Cleveland Browns, the second cornerback in the league.
that would actually be
the draft.
That would be a great move for you guys.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I think you're probably going to have Dallas or New York take him. I mean, Minnesota, like there's a lot.
There's a lot.
So okay, we did our thing with the draft. What team, and we'll finish it off this way, who's going to trade up? Who's going to be the next one to trade up? And or is there going to be somebody that trades up in the top 10 before draft day?
Not before draft day.
You don't think so?
No. On draft day,
You
it
don't
will
think
happen
Atlanta,
if it happens.
Cincinnati, Miami's going to make another trade?
Well, I've heard that,
Detroit?
but no.
You don't think so? You
No.
don't think Patriots are going to make a move to get up?
Sure, but not now.
The
The draft's got to be fluid.
7
It'll happen.
days.
Yeah, no, it'll happen
You think
day
on
of
draft
on
day?
clock.
So you think that there will be trades?
There will be a trade in the top 10,
On
but
draft.
on draft day, not any time
Not
before
before.
that. Nope. All those trades have already happened. Now it's settling down. Everything's a bunch of smoke screens. People are lying.
Okay.
People don't.
Okay.
This is the time of disinformation.
I can agree with
It'll
that.
settle down.
I can.
When they're on the clock and the phone rings, and they're dangling out, hey, we'll give you a first next year. We'll give you our first this year. We want to trade up and grab so-and-so.
So do you think somebody's going to get crazy?
What pick do you guys have?
3rd?
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's got enough.
Nobody's going to take. We're not.
Nobody's got
unless-
enough collateral. Nobody's got enough
No, but
goods
see,
to
Atlanta-
trade up and grab
Atlanta
anybody.
and Cincy, I think, are the two most interesting. Where if they're going to trade down, I think Miami's going to stay there. I think Detroit is going to wait, and if there's an opportunity, they could trade down.
Detroit's not going to trade up. John Dorsey's
No,
running
they're
the
not gonna
show.
trade up, but
yeah.
I'm saying I could see them trading down. Carolina is a mystery. Denver.
What pick does Detroit have?
The 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pick.
Kyle Pitts,
It's not going to be
Detroit
there.
Lions.
No.
Well, where's he?
The
He's gone
next-
before that.
So then what is his name going to be? The new Transformer? Like,
who knows?
Okay. Anyways, I think this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be, the most interesting thing to me is out of those top 5 quarterbacks, who is going to be the last one picked and how far do they fall?
Yeah.
Or how quick do they go? It's going to be interesting. Kyle Pitts is going to be a stud. I think.
Yeah, of course.
I think Atlanta is hands down going to take him. I'm also really curious if we take Mac Jones or Trey Lance. But we'll see. Anything else you want to cover about the NFL draft?
No, I mean, I think we went through everything in the NFL.
It is in Cleveland.
It is in Cleveland.
It looks nice and pretty.
Looks awesome. It's going to get a good pop for the city. A lot of talk about Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, yada, 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 Nick Chubb. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. That's why we're not doing a show next Thursday, because we're going to be watching the draft.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we might do one on Friday just to recap what happened in the first round. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Let's see how excited we both are.
Well, now to make sure that this isn't just a football program, real quick in the NBA, Suns, game and a half back, 8-2 of the last 10, not counting today.
Yep.
Today they won by 3 in Philly, but at the end of the game, Chris Paul at the free throw line with a chance to put him up by 4. He misses the free throw. Joel Embiid gets the rebound, hucks a 3-quarter, because he was in the key. Yeah. A 3-quarter length shot, hits the backboard, swivels around the rim, and out. Yep. Would have tied the game, went to overtime.
Yep.
But it didn't. Suns win again on a bad shooting night. They look pretty for real in the West. Now, AD comes back tomorrow for the Lakers.
Yeah.
LeBron will be back in a couple weeks, he says.
We'll see.
I mean, Steph Curry and your guys, they're in that running for the tournament play-in spot. Luka, there's some stuff building up in the NBA starting to get good because there's 20 games left?
Well, and the Lakers are in the 5 spot. So if they drop 2, they're then now in the play-in games, right? So
isn't it 7 through? It's 7
through 10.
Yeah.
So if they drop from 5 to 7, they're now in the play. Like, that's going to be.
I think there's a couple of games between that for that to happen. I don't know that that's going to be.
So they're 35-23, and Portland is in 6th at 32 and 35, or 25. Excuse me. So it's close. It's not that far.
It's a 3.5 game difference between the Lakers and the Mavericks.
Yeah,
and that's where the cutoff line
the Mavs,
is.
Yeah, right. And the Mavs.
I mean, 3.5 isn't a lot.
We heard what Luka had to say.
Yeah, you don't like that, and I believe that they won tonight as well.
And have you seen my boy Curry? That boy is just playing with people. It is so impressive. What he had 11 games straight with 30 points and over 10 3-pointers.
That's what makes it impressive is the 3-pointers. But 10 games over 30 points, I mean, it's the 3-pointer situation. He also has nobody on his team. This is like when Kevin Love was with the Timberwolves. Somebody's got to get the buckets. So you got to score at least 80 points in the NBA.
Yeah, correct.
As a team. So this dude's going to get his.
But so the craziest stat to me, and I brought this up last week. I think it was 16 last week, but now it's 21. The most 10 3-pointers in a game. So having 10 3-pointers made in a game, he has 21. The next closest person is Klay Thompson with 5.
Oh, I was saying before that maybe it was somebody
with
2.
And then I think it's Dwayne Wade with 4. Like, it's crazy.
Well, you got to remember, the game has changed so much that these guys back in the 80s and 90s didn't shoot threes like that. We consider Larry Bird to be one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time. Not the greatest, but one of the greatest. Before Steph Curry, he was definitely in the consideration of top 3 all time.
Yeah, because if he missed, he freaking
but the point is that Larry Bird averaged 3 3-pointers a game. The guys just didn't shoot at the volume that they do now.
Correct. But it's also not as fluid of a game the way it is now.
No, because there was a lot more physicality back then.
Correct. 100%.
Oh, yeah. And real quick, we should shout out the New York Knicks. For the first time in a long time, they are not a dumpster fire, despite their owner, despite garbage leadership. They're 33-27. They're in the 4 seed. They won in overtime tonight against Atlanta. Them young boys are playing hard basketball, and I want to give them a shout-out because they've been trash for 25 years.
Good for you, because you're a Cleveland fan, but I'm not going to give you a shout-out to Knicks. It's the Knicks. No.
I don't even know how you have a problem with the Knicks.
It's New York. I don't.
Okay,
we're not going there. So we don't ever talk about football.
Oh, soccer. Yeah, this is all you, Bubba.
This is crazy. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So pretty much the 12 richest teams, so like Chelsea, Manchester United, all these teams, they wanted to create a super league. They literally called it the Super League. There's 12 of them, and it's just greed because they want their money, and it's just the owners. And then all of a sudden, the backlash comes back at them, and I believe 6 already backed out, and I'm pretty sure it's done with now. But that's crazy. Like, just imagine the 12 top NFL teams just being like, we're going to start our own league. Like, now forget y'all. And we're going to do the XFL and go bankrupt. But, like, it's crazy to think of. Soccer has become even more popular in the United States, I'd say probably in the last 5 to 10 years. But in other states besides the U.S., it is huge. This is, like, bigger than football, like our NFL.
Oh, yeah. It's bigger than that. It's generations upon generations.
The money is insane.
There's families and groups and cities that have been cheering for these teams for over 80 years, 100 years. Some of these teams have been playing each other 200 times.
It's like, I think it's funny when we get in fights over like baseball and basketball and football games, and these guys just like, that's just a tradition.
Oh, they'll burn the stadium down and they'll kill a referee.
It's fine. That is what it is. So, all right. So we threw in soccer for the first time in our show. I don't want to go in too long because I know we wanted to make this about the draft, but we did have a really, really good story.
All right. Another work story.
And it does come around a little bit with 420.
So
I will let you get into the details.
Back in the day where we worked as a management crew, we had to shuffle around Saturdays. So you worked like every 13th Saturday or something, and sometimes you get somebody to switch with you or whatever if you're doing something. So I'm working a Saturday.
Always a chill day.
Oh yeah, it was a half day. It was 6 hours tops,
and there was like maybe a third of the crew there. Like it was
always very laid back,
and you could sometimes wear shorts. Depending on
who was the director. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
we had a gentleman that worked there. Everybody knew him. Nice guy.
We'll not get into names.
I'm not doing any names.
Okay.
Would always make baked goods for people. Some of them were magical. I myself did not know this.
Let's just say that when you were done with it, the napkin was green.
Oh yeah.
Let's put it that way.
So,
okay.
1, did not know this.
Yeah.
2, was never offered any. I happened to be working that Saturday. He came by and was like, "Hey, I baked some lemon poppy seed pound cake. Would you like some?" I was like, "Sure. Sounds good." So he went and put it in the toaster oven.
Yep.
Buttered it. Brought it to me. Dude, it was awesome. I was like, that's really good.
Like hot. Like
yeah, it was. Thinking, this is amazing. This is a great Saturday morning.
Like, all right.
So.
And it tasted amazing.
Oh, it tasted awesome.
Even like through the third, fourth.
It was awesome.
Yep. Okay.
I was like, dude, thank you so much. So I had a motorcycle at the time. I'm riding home. And about 5 miles from when I get home, all of a sudden I start feeling really weird. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Man, I feel funny.
Like, so, and at this point, I do have to say, at this point, you weren't.
I've never. Yeah, so that was never.
That wasn't like your thing.
So.
And so it wasn't ever.
I get home. I'm like, I feel weird, yo. I don't know what's going on. So I'm supposed to go to my mom and dad's house, and we were going to go hang out at the pool.
Yep.
So I get over there, and I can't figure out. By the time we get over there, I can't figure out why I'm so hungry. I made it home on the motorcycle. I was white knuckled.
Straight like
I was just like, why do I feel so weird? I was like, man, I feel funny. I felt weird. So we get home. I'm like, man, I feel weird.
Don't do it. But
we go to the pool. I'm at my mom's house. She has like all these cut up like meats and cheeses from the card game they had the night before. And I'm just like, I don't know why I'm so hungry. And I eat like 2 pounds of meat and cheese. She's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, Mom. I'm just so hungry. We go out to the pool.
And you literally didn't know.
I literally didn't know. So I'm like, I'm falling asleep in the jacuzzi. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so tired. This feels so good. So then.
Wow, you just went full Valley
bro,
right
dude,
there.
That's exactly how I felt. I was melting into the pool. So get home. I'm sitting there. I can't figure out what's going on.
Okay.
So I get asked, like, did you take something? I'm like, no. I'm like, the only thing I had today was lemon poppy seed pound cake. And then I got asked, and I was like, well, let me go hit up somebody. So I hit up a buddy. Now, I can't say this person's name.
Yep. No, yeah.
Dawson. Mm-hmm. I hit up Dawson. And I was like, Dawson, hey, so-and-so always makes goodies? Yeah. Does he always make him mad. Does he never put anything in? He's like, always. I'm like, oh, there it is. That makes sense. For 14 hours, I was cheeched and chonged.
Toasty oats.
Oh, bro. They made me go down to the neighbor's house just to show them how jacked up I was. Like, walk down the street and go say hi to them. Why? They got cookies. Okay.
See, this is why we have so many stories of James, is because we were able to take advantage of him so often.
Very much so.
And he was so innocent. And this is
goodness.
what happened. Now, shouldn't have drove the motorcycle, but you didn't know.
Didn't know. If I would have known.
The fact of is that we loved.
And let me tell you, because I don't want to make it sound like the guy that gave it to me is a total scumbag and stooge.
Oh, yeah. No,
he had no idea that I didn't know.
Right.
He assumed that I knew because he said everybody knew.
Yep.
And that taught him a lesson to make sure that he always made sure that somebody knew. He apologized so profusely because then he found out that I drove home. And that's the kind of guy he is. He was like very like, bro, like I am so sorry. It was like 6 months later. He was like, every time I see him, he was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I was like, it's okay, bud.
Yeah, no, it was fine. And you know what? I feel bad because I think I way introduced you into too much.
Well, but that's for another day, another topic, another time, another show.
Good times.
Yep.
That was hilarious. And I remember so many of those days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
So
next week
we'll probably do it later in the week. So then that way we can talk about the draft.
Yep.
We'll get a little bit more into
and come back to what we said this week and see how we were completely wrong.
I do have to give a shout out to Dayton, who the story we told about last week.
Yep.
He brought up some good ones that we're going to get into.
Oh my goodness.
He sent me the picture of I don't know if you guys remember the old Snickers commercial where they had it on his head. We did that on his head. And
back when I was holding on to my hair.
Yes, it was hilarious. And so there's a lot of good things. So shout out to Dayton because we're probably going to have him on.
100%.
But again, just Instagrams. YouTubes.
JamesOutWest.com.
Yep. Got the podcasts.
Yep.
All the podcasts.
iTunes, Spotify.
Check all that out. We're going to get more merch, like we said, coming out. But we also have some different things coming up to where we might do some live events.
Yep.
So check it.
We'll keep you in.
Keep in touch. But good show, man.
Yeah, bro.
All right. One love.